Coronation Street confirms 2 more casualties in Stephen's story. Stephen Reed's reign of terror is set to reach a dramatic climax this week on Coronation Street, but he certainly isn't finished yet, as recent scenes proved. Stephen has already taken 3 lives, and it seems that he may have taken another after Tim Metcalfe's gruesome discovery at the canal. Having followed Stephen to the canal several days ago, suspicious Tim headed back in recent scenes, where he uncovered the skeletal remains of Teddy Tompkins, who Stephen had dumped in the canal earlier this year. Tim was horrified by what he found, and instantly attempted to call the police, but found that the connection wasn't great. The taxi driver soon had a very unexpected fare, as he realized that Stephen himself had followed him, and had taken root in the back seat of his cab. Tim tried to play it cool, but it soon became evident to Stephen that they were on their way to the police station, and he had to act fast to keep Tim quiet. It was then that Stephen attempted to strangle Tim with his tie, but Tim made a swift getaway. However, an untied shoelace proved to be his downfall, and Stephen soon caught up with him, hitting him over the head and knocking himself out cold. That wasn't the end of Tim, however, as he soon regained consciousness, and soon Stephen had resorted to attempting to suffocate him. After the dramatic showdown, viewers saw Stephen open the boot of Tim's taxi, which was now parked in the middle of a dark woods, with Tim himself laying in the boot. Stephen picked up a container full of petrol, and began dousing the car in the flammable liquid. Just as he was about to set it alight, Stephen was spooked by the sound of a helicopter overhead, and quickly found a place to hide. That was the last we saw of Tim and his taxi, and we can't help but be worried for his well-being. Has Stephen finished him off? Elsewhere, Carla Barlow backtracked on her accusations that Stephen had been the one to drug her with LSD, after DS Swain advised her to keep the information to herself. This didn't sit well with Sarah Platt, who couldn't understand why Stephen had failed to question Carla's motives for changing her mind so suddenly. With Sarah questioning her uncle's innocence, could she be his next victim? A flash-forward scene during the latest episode saw a traumatized Sarah talking to DS Swain, having seemingly gone through a distressing ordeal. Could she be set to find herself facing Stephen's wrath, only to narrowly escape with her life?
Xin chào các bạn đã quay trở lại Vũ Cây Soát Spoiler. Vừa rồi các bạn đã theo dõi một sản phẩm của chúng tôi, Vũ Cây Soát Spoiler, một kênh tin tức chuyên cung cấp cho các bạn những thông tin mới nhất về những bộ phim xà phòng của Vương quốc Anh.